Hello everyone, this is the presentation for Tour at Cultural Authentic Traditional Sites in Seoul. I specifically chose Seoul because of my tourist, and here goes the presentation. So this is tour for a group of 5 people, and as I am a tourist guide, I have got the responsibility to take them to the different places and explain them about the Korean culture, tourism, and Korean tradition. The group of people, they are from Nepal, and they came to Korea as a cultural tourist, and they want to know about the Korean tradition. And me being from Nepal, my tourist company specifically hired me to have those tourists so I can communicate well. They are mixed age tourists, so there are young people as well as elderly people. So with young people I can interact with English, but for old people it's difficult to interact in English, so they chose me so I can explain them in my own language. So we are gonna start from Seoul. They landed on Incheon Airport, and our company received them from airport and took them to Seoul, and they are staying in Dongdaemun right now in a Airbnb, so it will not be more expensive and they can live comfortably like their home. So at first day I'm gonna receive them at Dongdaemun and explain a little bit about Seoul to them. And so this is our first day. Look, like I wanted to, so since they are here as a cultural tourist, I wanted to start from Jongmyo Shrine. So since to day one, we will travel from Dongdaemun to Jongmyo Shrine. It is in Jongno-gu, Seoul, so it is not far from Dongdaemun. So I chose this place. So after getting out from the Airbnb, we will be heading towards to eat something and continue our journey towards Jongmyo Shrine. So it is a oldest royal Confucian shrine preserved in Jongno-gu, Seoul. It was established in 14th century. So I'm gonna explain them about Jongmyo's history, as Jongmyo is adjacent to Changdeokgung and Cheonggyegung in the south. They used to be connected in the Joseon period but were separated by a road built by Japanese colonialists. Nowadays there is a construction plan to recover the original structure of the shrine. So as it was built in 14th century, it is a historical place which represent the Korean culture since 14th century. When it was built in 1394 by order of King Taejo, the Jongmyo Shrine was thought to be one of the longest buildings in Asia. The main hall, known as Jongjeon, had 7 rooms, each room known as Myosil. It can be translated as temple room. For example, a royal shrine, and it was reserved for king and his queen. The complex was expanded by King Sejong in year 1418, who ordered the construction of Yeongnyeonjeon, Hall of Eternal Comfort. So after explaining this to my tourists, I will have them take pictures for their memory in South Korea and in Korean culture. And after this, we will be heading to Gwanghwamun Square, as it is the most popular destination for many tourists. It was first constructed in in 1395 as a main gate to Gyeongbokgung Palace, the main and most important royal palace during the Joseon dynasty. So it was also built by King Taejo, and it is also located in Jongno-gu. I specifically chose this after Jongmyo Shrine because it is near from Jongmyo Shrine. So we can walk from Jongmyo Shrine and look at the streets, and I can explain them more about the place. And we reach to Gwanghwamun Square. So straight before heading to Gwanghwamun Gate, there is this statue of King Sejong. King Sejong is one of the greatest king in Joseon dynasty. If you see my previous Jongmyo Shrine, as it was also built by King Taejo. And the King Sejong invented Korean writing system and few other great inventions. So King Sejong is the one who invented Hangul, I guess. So I'm gonna explain this to my tourists. From the side of King Sejong's statue facing, there is another statue of Admiral Yi Song-sin. He is one of the greatest admiral in Joseon dynasty, popular with his battle towards Japanese invasion. So after explaining all about Gwanghwamun Square and taking pictures and having a great time, we will head to a Korean traditional restaurant, and it will be the end of day 1. So I will take them to a Korean traditional restaurant so they can try Korean cuisine and Korean tradition and see how Korean traditional restaurant looks like. So, and while eating, we will make a plan for tomorrow since it is the end of day 1. In day 1, I took them to Jongmyo Shrine and Gwanghwamun Square. So after eating our dinner, we will head back to their Airbnb and I will drop them there and tell them to rest until tomorrow so we can get tomorrow early morning in 10 a.m. so we can explore more places. So in day 2, we will visit Changdeokgung Palace. It was also built in Joseon Dynasty, and it was built during the Japanese invasion in 1592, and as far as I know, Korea's last emperor lived here until his death in 1926. Changgokdong Palace has 13 buildings, 28 pavilions on the garden, occupying 110 acres of land. And as a tourist guide to my tourist, I will explain them everything about this Changdeokgung Palace, and the main attraction for tourists here is traditional Korean dress hanbok. We can rent a hanbok for a few hours and they can try traditional Korean dress and walk around the palace and take pictures and take notes and memories, so they can have an experience of wearing Korean traditional dress hanbok. So after Changgokdong Palace, we will head towards Chogesa Temple. Chogesa Temple, it is located near Gwanghwamun as well. And Changgokdong Palace also is not far from Chogesa Temple. So it is a Buddhist temple and it is a really traditional and beautiful, peaceful place between the city, downtown area. So it is also located near the popular street of Insadong and I guess Myeongdong as well. So we can go there and take a peace of mind between the very crowded city, and it is located in Jongno-gu, and it has a ancient white pine tree is located within the temple grounds. Jogesa is located in one of the most popular cultural streets in Seoul, in Sadong and Gyeongbokgung Palace. So it was built in 1395 during the Japanese colonial invasion of 1910 to 1945. The temple became one of the strongest fortresses of Korean Buddhism. And in 1937, a movement for establishment of a central headquarters began, which was successful with the building of the main Buddha Hall on Jogesa Temple in Seoul in 1938. So as after describing everything, looking around and taking pictures and listening to the chants of monks and the sound, after spending few hours here, like we will head outside on the street where we can buy cultural souvenirs. The people who wants to collect the cultural souvenir, like Korean cultural or Buddhism related, they can buy here, and it will be the end of day two. And at the end of the day two, we will eat our dinner. I will explain them. I will ask them their experience, how they felt during the tour, and head back to the Airbnb room. And for the day three, Hwasong Fortress. I chose Hwasong Fortress because it is near from Seoul. Actually it was meant to be within Seoul, but since Hwasong Fortress is near from Seoul in Suwon, which is located in 30 kilometers south from Seoul, and we can take train from Seoul station, and it doesn't take much time. So I decided to take them to the Hwasong Fortress, and after reaching to Suwon station, we will take bus to Hwasong Fortress, which will take around 6 or 7 minutes, and it was built on 18th century by King Jongjo. I chose this place in my tour because it is a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. King Jongjo built Hwasong Fortress to prepare for a move of the capital from Seoul to Suwon. So Suwon was purported to be strategically positioned to connect Seoul with the West Sea and China. So we can walk around the walls, and it is a very large fortress, and it is very historical and very beautiful. So my clients will like this place. I hope so. And after all the information, walking around, looking around, taking pictures and taking notes, we will head back to Seoul, and we will go for a dinner. Since I have been only discussing about dinner because of my clients, they prefer to eat breakfast on their own. So taking them to dinner was my only responsibility about food. So this is the end of the tour, and it was very nice tour. So my clients, they really like the Korean cultural and traditional place, and they specifically like the Korean traditional dress hanbok, and they really enjoyed our trip to Seoul, from Seoul to Suwon. And thank you. That's all for my presentation.